Hello and welcome to the Home Care Millionaire Podcast, the show where compassion meets prosperity. I am Paul Tembande alongside my beautiful wife Joan here. We're honored to be your hosts. Together, Joan and I have built a home care agency from a little over $12,000 credit card loan. Okay, some people called it a gamble at that time. We've built it into an 8-figure business serving thousands of families over the years. And now we're here to share the lessons, strategies, and the mindset shifts that help us get there so that you can too.
We launched this podcast because the home care industry is often misunderstood. Too many people don't see the sacrifices owners and their caregivers make every single day, or the powerful impact agencies have on seniors and their communities. And truthfully, we looked around and realized there were not many podcasts out there shining a light on this industry. So we felt called to create the Home Care Millionaire Podcast.
This podcast is designed for the purpose-driven provider, for those of you who feel called to care, but also want to build a thriving, sustainable business. Each week, we're going to share with you real-life stories, proven strategies, and powerful mindset shifts that will help you move from just surviving to thriving.
Absolutely. Our tagline says it best. Compassion is your calling, wealth is your reward. And here on the Home Care Millionaire Podcast, we're going to show you how to embrace both.
So get ready for inspiration, practical insights, and the encouragement you need to impact lives, build wealth, and create a legacy through your agency. So hit subscribe, folks. Join us on this journey to transform your business, your mindset, and your future. Welcome, folks, to the Home Care Millionaire Podcast. Welcome to the Home Care Millionaire Podcast. Joan and I are honored to welcome a good friend, someone we respect a lot, a fellow home care agency owner who's been very successful at it, Jerome. Jerome speaks French. He's a Frenchman, American, by the way, but he's a Frenchman, right? And we've noticed. Yeah, exactly. He's been to Cameroon. That's right. He's been to Cameroon, which is where we're originally from, John and I from. So we have that linkage in there. We just so love Jerome, especially when we talk about stories that happened in the past in Cameroon and Douala and Limbe. With Jerome, we really resonate quite a bit. But we're so respectful of Jerome because he came to a foreign country just like we did, John, right? And was able to get involved, saw something, and got involved serving people. I think that says it all right. And when someone is in this industry, we're serving people, and he served so many of them. I mean, Jerome started with one office. He's got another office going, right. and just serving people in his part of the state. So again, we've known Jerome over the years, a great friend, and we're so happy to welcome you here today, Jerome. Jerome has got a heart, integrity, and the desire to really make a difference, I think. Right, Jerome? Wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. So we're excited to hear Jerome's story today and the wisdom that he brings into home care.
Welcome, Jerome, to the Home Care Millionaire Podcast. Over to you, Jerome.
Thank you very much, guys, for having me. I'm honored and blessed to be on your podcast. Yes, I grew up in Cameroon, in Douala. I consider myself a Douala. Part of my soul is still there. And John, I really love what you say about your tagline. Compassion is a journey and wealth is at the end. It's really what it is to, if you want to buy a business, there is two business that if you buy them, you really need to be prepared. Restaurant and home care business. So like a lot of business owner, I am a control freak, but our business is to send people in other people's home and we're not there. So it's a good medicine, you know, able to not controlling the thing. And you know, part of the journey is, even if I had my first agency, I bought it in 2017. I was still, my wife said, Jerome, you're a control freak. You always, it's true. I want, you know, we like
the best.
Is done, right? Nothing is done the way it should be done, except if it's done by us.
That's right.
So the best remedy to not be a control freak, and I think Paul, you and John, you mentioned that in our discussion, is basically the road to how do you grow up? How do you scale up? I think for me, one of the solutions, because I'm a control freak, and if you're a control freak, you sit in front, you stopping, you blocking your own success.
Sometimes, yeah.
The best things to do is you buy another agency.
That's right.
So because there is less things that you can control, because there is too many things to control.
That's right.
So that's a bit the little nugget that I've got there when it comes to scaling is if you want to scale just by 1, 2, 3, and Paul and John, you're amazing about, like starting your journey with a credit card loan. And I mean, you gutsy. I must admit from loan to where you are today. I mean, the people who don't know the network, Paul and John are really big counters in our world. They're really hitting big numbers. And don't ask me I want to pick your brain.
Listen, from one control freak to another control freak, I want to learn how you're doing it. So yes, no, but that is wonderful. And Jerome, what got me was that, I mean, I know, and we're gonna go back and forth here. I mean, you started, from I think financial services, what you did in Europe before you and your wife, who was an American, came here, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, my story is grew up in Africa, went back in France. Left France for the UK, where I lived 12 years, worked in the financial industry. I went from being a broker on the capital market, buying and selling bonds and money and stuff like that, where you close transaction on a voice. There was no paper. You just say it's done. And so that's the world I'm coming from. So the word is my bond is very important for me. And then I moved to, I lost my job. I make myself lost my job. I get myself fired.
Okay.
So I lived 12 years in the UK, then moved to Belgium because we had family in Belgium. I worked for a bank called Fortis Bank.
Okay.
Fortis Bank went belly up in 2008 with a subprime mortgage. I was a financial industry group bank. I was what's called a feed banker. My job was to talk to financial institutions. Prior to that, I was a bond fund manager, so I knew a bit about that world.
Yes.
And BNP Paribas, French bank, bought our Belgian bank in Belgium for symbolic €1. And my colleague told me, "Hey, Jerome, what is going to be to work with French?" And no offense for the French people, but even if I'm French, I told them, well, we're going to have a lot of meetings, long one, where sometimes people don't prepare their thing. And even if they say we're going to do the meeting in English, they're going to switch to French.
Hey.
Well, lo and behold, 3 months after, they told me, Jerome, you were right. But so, no, BNP Paribas kept me. I tried to find a job within the bank. But, that is the thing when you're 40, 42, 45, and you have a good salary, a family, you're not very mobile because you have kids.
That's right.
Your employer will try the best to find you something. But I was somewhere in a kind of the sandwich kind of wrong place. So they terminate me. We make an agreement. We sign papers. They give me a bit of money. I start to do a bit consulting work to try to do stuff. I always wanted to do stuff with businesses.
That's right.
I was a business owner. My 2 brothers are business owners, so it's kind of and my wife said, "Hey, let's. There is nothing for you in Europe." I was not finding a job. I sent I don't know how many resumes. I was too expensive, not enough qualified. I mean, it's the story of everyone who is in 45 years old and get terminated or fired and trying to find a job. People out there can probably resonate with that.
That's right.
So my wife said, "Hey, nothing in Europe. I've got an American passport. Let's explore my American route." And
there you go,
Paul. Huh?
There you go.
Life. So
that's right.
So I say, okay, why not? I have nothing else to do. I don't find any traction for a job. So we basically, my wife came one day and said, "Jerome, that's it. We're moving." So we had a place where we had friends. We have a friend in the US, a friend would say, "Well, why don't you come invest in Northwest Florida?" So I went 3 months before moving. I said, "Okay, that look good. I mean, it's not too crazy." I kind of understand them. They kind of understand me because I have a thicker French accent.
Exactly, yes.
And so my wife one day came back from holiday and said, "Let's move." And we left the kid with my in-laws. Thank you, the in-laws. We empty we order a big truck. We empty the whole house, put the house on, pack everything up. I bought a car on the internet through Facebook. I only paid half of it through Facebook, book our ticket, rent a place we never seen. Our friends say, my bank teller, I've got a 2-bedroom maisonette to rent. It was a very, very tiny house. There was only 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom for the 5 of us. And we basically took out two dogs, 5 suitcases, 3 kids, took a plane to Walton Beach, destined Fort Walton Beach in Florida. And we landed there with, I had a bit of money on the bank, of course. We had a bit of savings, and we were also a bit of help for family.
Yes.
And we landed there, and I ended up in this tiny little thing there. And at the time, I already found a job at Morgan Stanley as a financial advisor. I had passed my 37 and everything else. Stayed there for 18 months. The job of financial advisor, it's when you start, it's a dog's job. You need to call customer every single day.
Okay.
It's relentless. Which is great, so I don't mind doing it. The problem is French accent.
Yes.
South Alabama.
Yeah.
Not very easy. So I was able to stay in the program because at Morgan Stanley you need to produce a certain number of assets. So was able to stay in the program and then decided to leave, or I left before they kicked me out. But they were
good for you. Good for you.
You have been very proactive there.
Yes.
Yeah. And I become a business broker because I like business broking. So I was a business broker for a few years, and then my wife, once again, life at the beach is nice, but it's a bit boring. And our kids were growing up, and we wanted them to be in a bigger environment than just. So she said, one day she came back from holiday. I'm always very worried when my wife's coming back from holiday. And she basically said 2 weeks before school start in Asheville, North Carolina, I say, Jerome, I'm done here. I've got enough. Let's move to Asheville, North Carolina. I said, no. So same story. Everything in 2 weeks. No, she's pretty awesome. Move, you don't stay. You know what? It's just like, so we moved here, and I looked for business to buy. And at the time, Paul and Laurie Stewart owned the Visiting Angels in Asheville, and I called several.
Yes.
I wanted to be in that field. Okay, this is really my research. I wanted to acquire a business. I really, at some point you need to be narrowed down. So the choice was between a winery at the Grand Junction in Colorado or her home care agency. And my wife said, no, we're going to Asheville. We're not going to Grand Junction. So no offense for the people from Colorado, but so we moved there in 2017, August 2017. I make an offer to Paul and Jill September, something like that. And we closed for my 50th birthday, December 31st, 2017. That was the actual.
Wow.
Yeah,
oh, wow.
Congratulations.
Wow, congrats.
What a journey.
Congrats, Jerome.
Yeah.
Wow. And that was your first office too, by the way.
Yeah, and we didn't have a lot of credit because I didn't have a lot of revenue, and I don't like credit.
Exactly, yes.
So, even my phone at the time, I couldn't even get a Verizon phone because Verizon, you need to have a credit. I had a prepaid T-Mobile phone number until early 2018 because we didn't want credit.
Wow. Wow.
So unless I didn't have a credit card loan because you didn't want to lend me any money.
Wow.
So you had to
pay cash for your office.
Yeah, for our first business. Yeah.
Wow. Well, but Jerome, I gotta say, I gotta congratulate you for that because you found a way. That speaks to your desire, your hunger. You wanted to make this thing happen. You found a way. Because most, see how long it took you to. If you go here, it doesn't work. You keep looking, you keep searching, you keep looking at it, and then lo and behold, you run to Paul and Jill. You reach out to them. You're able to close this. You always found a way, which is really, it speaks to your entrepreneurial blood, if you will,
and your resourcefulness.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really it's been a journey, but the fact that I was when the issue we had with my previous job in Destin before moving to Asheville was and that's really what turned me to buy a business. I always was a guy. I was called at some time you have, I don't know if you're familiar with the notion of intrapreneur. Intrapreneur is an entrepreneur inside a business, right? And I was a bit that kind of person. When you give me a job description, I say, great, read the job description, and 3 months down the line, I'm just going to take they give me a field and I'm going to take the pole expand the field and move the job
Yes,
description.
yes, yes.
I was getting, issue with authority and, being obedient employee and things like that. That was not really me. And basically my last job as a business broker, I wanted to sell my house. He was when you want to be a business broker in Florida, you have to be a real estate. You have to have a real estate license, and because to be a business broker, because there is real estate involved, so that's the rules. And the person at the time who was there would say, "Well, I'm the broker of record. I have the real estate license. I want to know how much you're selling your house." And I said, "That's none of your business."
Yeah,
I wanted to sell my house. That's none of your business. And
that's right.
So long story short, I just resigned and say, okay, well,
good for you.
Nothing to do with you.
Good for you.
And that where my wife said, Jerome, you should buy your own business.
That's right.
Honestly, you and fire from so many jobs that maybe
or resign. You resigned too. But you're right. Because you wanted to control your own destiny. You wanted to, want to run things. You want to, and what I've discovered also oftentimes, Jerome, because you're like me too, and you want to be able to do more. 8 hours is not enough for you. You want to serve. You don't look at a clock, right? So you have so much energy, you want to put it out there.
And I think you're touching on something that is very important. I think within our industry. Franchise. Let's talk about it. Some people say you in franchise, you pay to a franchisor. At Visiting Angels, you guys know that we have a lot of liberty within a certain net. We have a framework, which is with some boundaries, and that's okay. I think it's benefit everyone. Keep some boundaries, because sometimes I have customers say, "Hey, we enjoy Visiting Angels in Oklahoma. We coming to live here. We want to." So that's work in the sense that. But I think the most important thing is and you mentioned it several times, is a desire to serve. You don't get in that industry to make money. You do, but that's not the main. If you do just for the money, you're going to leave very quickly.
That's exactly right.
At the beginning, bless my wife, she was doing the scheduling.
Wow.
It's a dog job, and she did it for 2 years. And honestly, I think she took me to the moon and back, because I've done it for 6 months, and after 6 months, I hire her.
Wow, what a strong lady.
Yeah, I think the main thing in our industry is the desire to serve and be in service for elder people.
Yes.
You don't go to an industry if you don't have that. Yes, people are going to say, yes, great. AI now with introspective, AI arrived. We still need people to help grandma going from a bedroom to a bathroom and things like that. So you always have customer. Yes, maybe. But, we deal with fantastic people who are caregiver, who are probably very good at giving care, but not necessarily professional employee. And that's where we as owners and CEO, leaders, manager, need to understand how we can put them from point A, I'm a caregiver, I give care to someone, to I am a care professional.
Yes.
And that's part of our leadership, so to speak, is to take those people who are very caregiver. I've got a heart, personally bigger than mine. I don't have a heart, I'm a business owner. But they have heart bigger than ours, but not necessarily the good employee. They're not necessarily good at, ticking boxes about, I clock out on time, I follow the rules and things like that. And that's our job, to do that. But if you don't have the passion to do it, if you don't have that inherent things in I make a difference, you're not going to go anywhere. And I remember once I felt humble one day because one person to me, Jerome, thank you so much. Yes, it was a customer to me. Thank you so much for what you do. And I said, but
wow.
I don't know. My caregiver do something, they are.
You got that right.
And you know what she told me? I say, maybe the caregiver do something, but if they don't have a house to harbor their talent and someone to keep them safe and in a good thing, they're nowhere.
That's right.
And it's what I told someone somewhere is, I can't remember when I told that, I say, and coming back to what Joan said at the beginning, sometimes people ask me what you do, and I say, I'm a broker in compassion.
Oh, there you go.
That's because that's what we do.
Yeah, no, you're right.
We're just Holobon. We're just a messenger. We're connecting a caregiver who have a big heart and that's what they want to do. Because I mean, don't know for you, but my caregivers, they're not there for the money first. They're there because they like taking care of
They want to serve.
They want to
serve.
Yes, exactly. So we're just there to put those people who want to serve, who have a big heart, in front of the people who need the help.
Yes.
And our job is just to connect the dot. So we're broker in compassion.
No, I like that. I think that's what I want to put it. The broker in compassion. Broker, you're so right, Jerome.
You're still wearing your brokerage, broker hat.
Jerome is so right, because and I tell you what, Jerome, that is the most difficult thing for a lot of people. That's most of it for people to care. About others is hard sometimes.
Yeah.
But the industry in which we are, that's what this is all about. Like they say, oftentimes they say that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Yeah.
I think that's where you talk about being a broker and compassion. That's it right there. That's what we do. We have to show empathy to people who oftentimes may not have someone else to even be with them. I mean, I'm sure you've served clients who have no family member around, right? They have nobody. You're their family member.
Yeah, I remember one of our first customer, when I bought my first agency, we had one customer 24/7. She was probably representing a third of the hours of the agency. Okay.
Wow.
Goodness.
Wow. At that time. Wow.
You have to be gutsy too. And when I bought the agency, I said to the guy, well, a 24/7 case, if she disappeared tomorrow, I have no business left.
You're right. You're right.
But I remember our son was in Toledo, Ohio. He was a financial POA. Her niece was in Greenville, I think, in South Carolina, so probably an hour away from Asheville. So and she had no family around.
Wow.
So when I bought the agency, and you asked me a question earlier on before in the pre-call saying, hey, what is the early day of your business? And that is the reason why I, as an owner, don't like the 24/7 business, because when I bought that agency, the only constant stress that we were having is to feed that furnace of caregiver, because that 24/7 case, it's 6 to 8 caregiver. We're dealing with humans who have family, cars, kids, snow, ice, and sometimes they cannot make it to work. But that person being alone, she needed care 24. She was half case, and that the first 6 months, oh my gosh, I say, what have I done? That was very, very hard.
I bet.
At the end of the day, she didn't pass. I called because she was starting to be on, more and more hands-on, and she was starting to be now to a regulated state. She was starting to be a CNA level of care. And I called the niece and I say, I cannot staff a 24/7 case CNA level of care. I cannot find a CNA. In North Carolina at the time, it was very hard to find CNAs. I cannot staff, and I don't want to lose my agency. And she say, maybe we need to put her in assisted living. They put her in assisted living, and she thrived over there.
Wow.
She thrived. She went from bedbound to being on a wheelchair and around and playing with bingo and things like that. And I see she will stay alive for another 2-3 years.
Wow.
So, 24/7, sometimes it's a solution, but I'm not a big fan of it, because at the end of the day, you end up with the same faces all the time, with the same story all the time. And we are human beings. We need to be, if we want to be present for our caregiver and do the right thing, we need to make sure that they have the right kind of environment. And, you're seeing all people all the time. Some people like that, some don't, right? And that one of the reasons when I say to my team often when we make decision, I tell them one of my we have value. We work with value, integrity, professionalism, communication.
Yes.
But I think one of the main things that I tell my team is say, not every dollar is good. Not every dollar.
That's right.
And sometimes we're not a good fit for families, because I don't know, it doesn't click, it doesn't work. And there is nothing wrong to say, listen, we can serve you the way you want to be served. And I don't want to provide you services if you're unsatisfied with us all the time, because we cannot make you stand And I'd rather say, okay, I'm going to call one of my colleagues, whether it's one of my competitor, and say, hey, X, Y, or Z, we have that customer. Do you want it? This is the lay of the land. It's not working for us because A, B, or C, right? And same thing for caregiver. I mean, I sometimes I don't know for you guys, but we have our internal podcast after. But I don't know for you guys, but for me, sometimes I terminate caregiver who are a nightmare for the scheduler and the team. I always say one rotten apple can rot the whole basket.
Oh yeah, yes. Oh yeah, 100%.
And it's sometimes better just to say, not okay, I'm going to terminate that caregiver. She was doing 40 hours. The customer loves, because I think if you keep the line of your integrity and the way you want to service people, you're giving a better service to everyone else than just trying to follow the dollar.
No, you're right. I mean, and this it's not every dollar we should chase either. I mean, if you do good work, you're right, because you're putting people before profit.
Yeah.
Right. You're putting people before profit. You're putting you want to make sure that that your system, your agency, your office is flowing the way it should be, as opposed to chasing every dollar. You're right. I mean, that's the best approach to have, don't you think?
Yes, that's a lot of integrity, compassion. That's showing your compassion there.
Yes.
It's making sure that the level of care that you promise you're going to deliver, you can deliver.
And I was also going to add also, Jerome, that I like the fact that, when you could not take care of this 24/7 client, you showed them a different alternative that worked out better for them. You see what I'm saying? I mean, that again speaks to who you are. It speaks to your integrity, the fact that you want the best for your client. Not necessarily, even if you lose money, you want the best for them.
It's what I say to people. I mean, when people call us, and sometimes, I'm the first to say, let's say I've got a call from a person and say, yes, I want help for my dad. He's bedridden. We want 24/7 care. He need a lift to get out of bed and things like that. I will tell that person, the best solution is you putting in assisted living. And if you really want him to offer companionship, we can do that. But it would be better for you and cheaper than to have someone 24/7, senior level of care 24/7 in North Carolina. We're talking $6,000 a week. So yes, as an agency, say, wow, that's a lot of money, right? But I don't like it because it's a lot of If you make the math, $6,000 times 52, it's more than $250,000 a year. I mean, I know people have got money and they want to spend it. I'd rather they go in a place where they have 24/7 care, because let's be clear, even if we can offer 24/7 care and we have a lot of caregiver, there is still a human factor. And there is when we won't be able to service. I mean, I'm in North Carolina. We had a winter storm. I mean, we all live in a mountain. I mean, we have a sheet of ice that big everywhere. I mean, no caregiver could go anywhere.
That's right.
So in that case, if you're a person who is bedbound 24/7, because we had a customer like that, and we say, okay, if you want, we can preemptively send you a caregiver for 4 days in a row and kind of a live-in.
Yes.
And that's what she do. But sometimes we have, this morning we all wake up with snow and ice everywhere.
I know.
And it was not, it was possible, but not certain, right? And in that case, you have a 24/7 that need coverage. What do you do?
But again, it's a challenging industry. It's a challenging business for sure, Jerome. But I think that, when you put compassion like you do, you put integrity like you do, and you out to serve people, it just works out, because, the interesting thing is, as you and I know, and we all don't know, no business is every business goes up and down, right? Mm-hmm. The good thing is that we control it. We're serving people. We control some of the outcome, right? Determine which I think
for something in our industry.
Yeah, that's it. So, Jerome, thank you again. So we've chatted for quite a bit here. So you do own a second. I think we'll talk about your second office briefly, and then we're going to just ask you for some nuggets. What do you, for our listeners out there, what do you want to share as some parting words? I like that you talked about the compassion, the
compassion.
No, I love that part. That's I just love that.
You don't need to chase every dollar.
Yeah, you don't exactly. Broken compassion. That's managed to. You're right. Because years ago, Joe, I was reading this book where Andrew Carnegie used to pay Charles Schwab $25 million a year. Was it $1 million? Or I think it was
Remember.
in the 60s.
Uh-huh.
You know, and he was doing exactly what you're talking about. His job was to manage his organization,
Mhm.
manage his steel mill. You know, it was the U.S. Steel. He paid him that kind of money just to manage it, and it was just what you said here, broker in compassion, just linking those people together, making sure that everyone is taken care of, which is what you do, which is what we do, and that's so. But again, so how did you want to just share a bit about your second office, how that's going? I know you're doing a lot of good things in there.
Okay, so second office came in 2022, was an opportunity. I took a loan this time. I financed it with SBA.
Oh, good for you. All right.
Yes, it was an office that was not doing it's. Both of them are kind of a turnaround office because the hour were not where it's supposed to be.
Should be,
But I
yeah.
don't want to say that I'm where I should be. I think we can very, very easily be 5 times what we are now. We should
Good for
be
you.
able to do 5x.
Good for you.
But the second office was it. What's great is when you have 2 offices. That's where really the first agency I bought a job. I needed a job.
Okay.
I
Okay.
had a job. Let's be clear. I'm not
Yes.
afraid and ashamed to do that.
No, of
The
course.
second one, I bought a business.
Good for you.
Because when you have 2 offices and you have to let go of a lot of things and you need to organize yourself
Yes.
on a better way in order to be able, because you cannot be everywhere at the same time.
No.
So that's where policy, processes,
Okay.
having the right person at the right place and things like that, that's where it's come up.
Wow.
And I will say that the reason why I was not, and I found that after buying my second office, after a year or 2 years in a row, I said, okay. And I asked myself, I sat down and said, Jerome, why have you not, get the success of Paul and Joan, for example? Not true. I mean, that's a good question.
Thank you.
And I said, well, I sat down and I realized, and I look at me and I look at the people in my office, not my caregiver, because we all have turnover, but my office.
Yeah.
And I counted the number of office managers / office assistants that I had across the year and the number of schedulers that I crossed across the year. And I say, that's a lot of person in a very, not a lot of years, a lot of turnaround. So why? And the reason why is I think at the beginning I was a bit naive. And I say I can hire anyone in the street and I can train them to become office manager and stuff like that. And anyone who has a dedication to do that, it's literally really put my growth down for years. I mean, last year I took a good decision and our Asheville office went up by 50%. So
wow. All right.
Just by tweaking the people.
All right.
I haven't changed my spending in marketing. I haven't changed my spending in hiring. I just tweaked the people.
Wow.
And I think this is having the right people in the right seat. There's something called EOS. It's very important. And I did not listen to that. So I was hiring people. I was training a person to make it efficient to the way you want them to work, especially when you're control freak. It takes 6 months to 9 months to really have someone who is doing what they're supposed to do.
Yes.
Ticking the boxes. And when I bought Lenore, I had a team that was able to do that. I spent probably 3 to 4 months every day in Lenore. In Asheville, we were managing everything. I had an office manager and a scheduler.
Good for you.
I had no choice.
Yes.
Good for you, but I just had to trust, right? Yeah. And one of them left. We have Helene, and that created a lot of tension and things like that. So one of them left probably a few months after Helene, and the other one wanted to have a baby at the time. So she left me. So I had to rebuild my whole team
again, yes.
At the time of 2024. And that's where I say, okay, let's try to make sure that you hire right at the beginning. I was prior to 2024 because I did that in 2022. Actually, because in 2022 I had such turnaround. I say, okay, stop it. Let's try to be focused and think about who I want. And I visualize exactly the person I wanted in what seat. And for a month in Asheville, a month and a half, nearly 2 months, I was the office assistant, the office manager, the scheduler, the owner, and the marketing.
You were doing it all. Wow.
I was doing between 600 and 700 hours a week, and I was doing it all.
Wow.
And I didn't want to hire
the wrong person. Okay.
I didn't want to hire, and I really, really bite the bullet to hire the right person. I still miss her. Her name is Emily, and she's fantastic. And,
Good for
and
you. All right.
she was an introvert, and I make her become
Extrovert.
yeah. But it took me time. But I think that really the advice is what I missed at the beginning, and what is probably I've been in front of me all the time, but I didn't realize is you need to hire right. And it is being French in an American environment.
That's right.
I don't live in a big city where I grew up.
Yes.
More in a countryside, so to speak.
Yes.
You need to understand a bit more the psyche. And, for example, the people in Asheville, the caregiver in Asheville, are completely different from the caregiver in Lenoir and Hickory. In Hickory and Lenoir, my other location, I have caregivers since 2 years, 3 years. I have no turnover.
Right? Oh, wow.
In Asheville, because of the fact that the city is expensive and probably some other stuff, what some people call the cherry kickers or whatever, but we have a very, very transient population. It's really hard to keep them. But we had a couple, I don't know for you guys, you've been in business for 30 years, but we have two caregivers.
24 this year.
We have two caregivers that passed the 15 years mark at Nashville, and I was pretty damn proud of it because
way to go. That is
the
great.
agency is 22 years old, so basically they have all the owners. They were the first generation owner for Asheville.
Wow, good for you. Well, Jerome, thank you so much. Let me just ask you, as we wrap up here, Jerome, what are some nuggets? Like I said, you've shared so much with us, and we so thank you for your time. You run 2 offices, so you're a busy business person, and to take the time to share this with us is really, it means a lot to us, I got to tell you. And our audience has been blessed by what you said today. I want to, in closing, what are some nuggets you want to leave with our audience, with us, so that folks listen to this, who are in home care or looking to get in home care can have a more balanced view, if you will. What would you say?
The first advice is you have to see your business as a car. And if you have no gas in a car, you will go nowhere. Your caregiver are your gas, period.
Okay.
Your engine is your scheduling software, because that's the thing that's going to create your process, because you're going to walk around it. So very important. Caregiver as a salt, as a gas of your engine. The engine itself is a scheduling software. Be careful. I don't know what you want to choose or what you're working with, but be careful.
Yeah.
The first thing I will say is we are in a people business, and the mistake, I've done all the mistakes you could do, and not hiring right really literally cost me growth. Hiring the right person.
Okay. So we lost you there a little bit. So sorry, can you go back to hire the right people? Okay. All right.
I hire the right person, but she might be on the wrong seat.
Yes, right.
Hire the right person and put her in the right seat. I have an office manager. She's still with me. Nightmare. Cannot cross the T and the I. But she was good with people. We put her in hiring and marketing, and she just thriving. So right person, right seat.
In the right seat.
Okay. And the last nugget is, if you're a control freak, create a platform, do a roll-up. Don't just get one, get 2.
Keep yourself very busy, huh?
And then you have to let go by default, right?
I hired a head of operation in October. It's an investment, and I'm glad I did, because I want to have an organization which is the best of what we do. Our vision is to be the best agency to work for. And if I want to be the best agency to work for, I want to make sure I have a flawless execution.
Yes.
I don't want to be having issues with operational
100%.
staff. It needs to be and you probably, guys, being at it for many years, master it. And the last piece of advice, embrace change.
Embrace change.
Is always morphing. We have AI right now. Use it, leverage it. There is plenty of new product coming. When I see what we can do compared to 5 years ago or 6 years ago,
I know.
just with what's called ATP, automated, like a caregiver will see you ad, press a button, send to you thing, get on your automatically. He has an interview, and you follow up and things like that. Integrated thing. This is the way forward. So just embrace the change. When you have change, you always have opportunity. And the last thing, and that's strategic, I don't know for you guys, but I'm pretty big. I told you I didn't like 24/7 cases.
Yes.
But I like small shift. Why?
Okay.
because the price are going up, right?
Yeah.
Caregiver price is going up, your office price is going up, your computer price everything's going up, right?
Everything. Yeah. Everything. Insurance.
But
Everything. Yeah.
a lot of our customers have long-term care insurance policy done 5, 10, 15, 60 years ago.
Yes.
The payout for those policies is a fixed price. It's not indexed to inflation.
That's
So
not. That's
the
not.
policy from, I don't know, GE, for example, is going to say, oh, I pay Mrs. Smith $150 a day if she qualifies for 2 activities of daily living, if she needs help with 2 activities. That number will never change. And then basically the people, the more in Asheville, the price in average in Asheville was around $22 to $25 an hour when I bought my agency.
Okay.
We're around 40 now, right?
Yeah.
So make the math. Before you could have 5 or 6 hours, okay, you can only have 4, right?
Yeah.
And maybe in 3 years' time, you can only have 2.
Yeah.
Small shift, it's a bit a nightmare. Makes them more expensive. It's a more scheduled hours, so to speak, but can be better margin, and it will help you stay in the game. So,
wow, that is a nugget. Wow, Jerome.
do you like do short shift?
We do a mixture. We do a mixture.
Yeah.
You know, the big thing, and I like what you said there. One of the things I'll just throw in there, I think Joe can speak to this, is also is that you always want to have multiple streams of income, right?
Yeah.
You know, you want to be able to make sure that you have different streams of your agency to be able to grow it, because like you said, you know, you have short cases, you're going to have long cases, you have some veterans. I'm sure you get some veterans, you get some hospitals, you know, that type of thing.
I work with a PACE program, which is
there you go.
run by Medicare. I work with VA. I don't work with PACE anymore because was a reason that whatever. I used to work for PACE PACE program, and it was very good payment. I do a lot of, we do more community care right now.
Good for you.
That means that we have independent living that want to offer independent living plus to people age in place. And we have caregiver on the ground, in a facility, in a community, CCRC or independent living, providing servicing by increment of 15 minutes.
Wow.
It's an investment. You don't make money on that, but you get hours on the back end.
You do. Wow. Jerome, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm going to do this again with your wife at some point, you know, but thank you so much.
Hear her perspective, right?
Yeah, she's probably scouting the next location.
Good for her. Why not? I mean, that's a good thing. That'll make you even much more successful as a business person, because then you know you get better at it. You know, we all do. You know, yeah. Because let me tell you,
she slapped me in the head and said, "Let's go there."
That's right, Jerome. Because you're right. You're so right, Jerome. Once you get the more often, that's the same thing with me. I used to be a control freak too. Once we got the third one, I said, wait a minute, you know, what am I going to control now? You know, nothing, right? So I quit. I'm not controlling anymore. So thank you again, Jerome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yes, to your continued success and all the best. Please give our best regards to your wife. And keep doing a great work. We'll see you soon.
And keep sharing your wisdom to outside of your podcast to other owners, because
Jerome, you know we're always available. So anytime. Yeah. Anytime there's anything we can do, you have my number. You know, right? Reach out. Let's talk.
Absolutely.
All right. Bye, guys.
Thanks so much, Jerome. Bye-bye now.
Thank you so much for joining us today on the Home Care Millionaire Podcast. We hope you found inspiration, encouragement, and practical tools you can apply right away in your own journey. Our mission is simple, folks: to shine a light on the incredible impact that home care owners and their caregivers make every single day, and to give you the mindset, strategies, and faith-filled wisdom to build both purpose and prosperity.
Because here is what we believe: compassion is your calling, wealth is your reward. If this episode spoke to you, we'd love for you to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you like more resources or have questions for Paul and I, just head over to askjoanandpaul.com. We'll be honored to connect with you there.
Until next time, folks, remember, you have what it takes to build wealth, create freedom, and leave a legacy through your agency. We're here cheering you on every step of the way. Bye for now.